That just kind of keeps looping around.
Oh, I hadn't heard that. And so what are you doing with the old house?
Another opportunity arose. People were asking, we want to stay in the house. It's an old rectory, and the church has been torn down, so I got married there, I was christened there, whatever their family event. And so there's two of the rooms that work very well without their own entrances to be able to set up a bed and breakfast there as well.
When's that going to launch?
As soon as we can. I want to finish the actual store first to be able to get everything set up there. So we're hoping here in the next few months, though.
So the complete nest of the store at Creations by Oz will be done when?
I'm hoping here in the next few months. I'd like it done by, we're talking like 90 days, 60 to 90 days. I'm adding a lot of stuff to it faster than my love to get it built. Yep. I'm very tuned engineer, so I can ask for things and they happen.
That's cool.
I have skin in the game though. We restore tile, we do behind paneling, we found old wood, we've restored silverback mirrors, really cool stuff. Yeah, it makes it worth it.
Tell us about your studio. I think the studio.
It's the safe. Cool. It pleases me. It's safe. It's got a door this thick, and when I shut it, it's just cool and it's very quiet. And everyone that knows me, I kind of run fast and hard and loud. So I just sit quietly in there, and I can just work.
So you lock yourself in the vault to work?
No, I shut the door. I'm sure some people probably like to lock me in there, but I sit quietly in there. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. As soon as we get it finished, then when I'm done, I can literally shut it, unlock it, and everything is safe in it, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
So it is as big as a room.
Yeah.
Cool. Very cool.
Tell us about some of the things that, aside from your business in downtown Muscatine, what else are you doing to participate in this?
Boy, committees, events, everything I can be involved in that would help the city. I have a background in events, and I do events outside of the store. Every Saturday there's jury events I travel to, and customers that I still do customers where I travel to. And so there's those kinds of things that I can bring back because I'm doing them other places if we can help here. We're setting up a second Saturday, which is an art festival that's going to be downtown, which is really awesome. I'm just one of many that are part of that though. So, and we did a couple other events since I've been here. But I do that for other towns too. I sit on a lot of committees to make events happen. And I do consulting outside of here. I'm closed Sunday, Monday, and for small businesses that can't afford a consultant, either in HR, marketing, PR, accounting, whatever. Some of them have gotten into a little bit of trouble and need a handbook, a human resource handbook put together, or they have some personnel issues that they need somebody to be able to come in, either negotiate, facilitate. It just depends on the situation, so I do a lot of that.
Hire, fire?
Yes, I do. Executive recruitment. That back room has also been another request to do just some discreet interactions like that, just to be able to talk to somebody. So.
Cool. Cool. All right. Tell us about, you're on the committee, right, for the second Saturday event that's going on. Just talk about that a little bit.
Which is kind of cool. A group of individuals, I can sit right here, went down to another city, and it was a huge festival, and I've actually participated in it before, and brought all that knowledge back, and they did some legwork with the city to shut down 3 blocks, and then we'll have artisans along the side, music on every block, and it's the second Saturday of each month, May through October, and it's just a couple hours at night, so it doesn't interfere with any other events, and so we're bringing some folks in to actually promote themselves as well. So that's how I started out, a lot of us just going to those things. So it's an awesome opportunity for other small businesses and things of it, as well as the town, to be able to expose them to it.
How are the other small businesses up and down 2nd Street responding to that, reacting?
I think it's been pretty good, actually. Everybody's staying open later. And just the people that are participating with like music and things, a lot of those people were recommended by the other businesses downtown. It's been awesome. And I think the difference is Kai from our Convention Business Bureau, actually they informed them, here's what's going to happen, here's what we're doing, here's what our needs are, here's how you can participate, how can we make you successful. But what it is it's to focus on the small businesses, which are just like mine, to make sure that there's a different kind of traffic and a different kind of person, and all of us do art in some way. Some people make it. It just depends on what they're doing, but honestly, from the small businesses I see down here, a lot of them are artists in whatever they do. So it's really a neat interaction. A lot of them are really excited because they knew, it's kind of like when I go to events, I don't have to be doing the same thing somebody else is to be exposed to music, ceramics, whatever the deal is. So it's kind of bringing everybody together, and I think that's cool.
Yeah. So the cool part about bringing the downtown business district merchants, small business owners together, that's an important part of an entrepreneurial ecosystem.
Totally.
What are some other elements that you see in Muscatine that either one we're doing and we're doing well and we should do more of it, or we're not doing and maybe we ought to do to be able to engage more of the entire entrepreneurial ecosystem?
I'm impressed with the city for the size that it is and the vision that they have. And there's growing pains because they're moving forward with some things, but they're communicating it. They're doing some amazing things. That is big city stuff, honestly. And the forethought and getting through this stuff is amazing to me. That's one of the reasons we purchased the building to begin with, to be honest with you. They're restoring it. I'm big on restoration in old buildings, so that's kind of a thing that I just love. So they're doing that with a lot of the buildings, and there's some funding to be able to make them or restore them, be seen from the river, and they're taking their best qualities and they're really, I don't know, they're highlighting them in communication, trying to link everybody up. In the short time I've been here, I've seen a big difference in communication. There was kind of very disjointed at first, but now there seems to be a better flow just of things. So
from City Hall in particular?
Both. I think what it is facilitated. Now the Convention and Visitors Bureau with Kai again, as there's events, she's going downtown and working with all these people, but she's under the city, so it's yes and no. She's doing that part, but then she's also communicating what the city's doing, and there's other things going on, so it's an awesome liaison. Actually doing the Convention and Visitors Bureau job, which is bringing people in from all over. So it's really nice. And it's nice to have an event like this because personally most of my customers are from outside of here. I love the customers that are here. I have an awesome customer base, and it just keeps getting bigger because I'm doing something a little different. With the actual Muscatine customers, they're awesome. But I also bring in people from 2 to 3 hours away. So it's kind of fun to have them to have an event to come to. It'd be great if I was the only one they wanted to come see, and was that awesome? But I'm not. I need to be I need to be in the middle of a destination, honestly, and it's becoming that. So when you come to see me, that's great, but then look what else you can do. That's really what I need.
Cool. Okay, so how do you see that part of this city being an important element to growing other parts of the startup community, other types of businesses?
Well, there's a hotel going in, and I see it, and just in less than a year that I've been here, there's been like 6 businesses just up and down the street open up. That's pretty awesome. Yeah. That's really awesome. So that just tells me the climate is right, the opportunities are there, and they're moving forward with a plan that's going to allow that to continue to grow and bring people in. And my customers, when they come here, they're very excited because every time they come here, there's something new for them to look at. That's awesome. Yeah.
So what do we do? What do we do as a startup community to capitalize on that and do more of the good things that we're doing?
I say we're doing the StartUpGrind, which brings people in, but the open coffees, that we do and have at Flynn's, which is amazing because people connect with each other that absolutely had no idea somebody else existed, which is awesome. I met people, I was new here too, but it seems like when I sit down at the open coffees, I'm still meeting someone else that I had no idea existed, which is amazing. And the connections we're making, the help you can give somebody else. Just a name sometimes with a phone number is amazing to get something done.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. You guys are facilitating it. It's amazing. Yeah. It's helped me immensely, actually. And when I go to the city, somebody would give me somebody else's name so I could at least maneuver my way through to get some stuff done, permitting, whatever the deal was. So, yeah, I think it's actually, once you have those connections and you need something, you start to have a voice to be able to follow and find a name, and then somebody can give you something else. You just build that network.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I think is cool about Muscatine and a small town like this. Because our ecosystem is going to grow slower and steadier than in a tech startup community. We have to build those connections, build the ecosystem one connection at a time, and it takes time. So, okay, so what are some things that other entrepreneurs can learn from you? What to do and what not to do? Give us your, doesn't have to be your top 10 list, but give us a list of a few things, the good, the bad, and
the ugly.
The ugly, or
I have no fear. Some people have fear of being able to go do something. I don't have that gene, so I'm all in all the time. And you're gonna fail. That doesn't make you a failure. It just means that one thing failed. So I don't feel bad about it, because there's never a right and a wrong. There's a climate that's right for what you're doing. That's all it is. Because a lot of things, there's Edison, there's all these inventions that didn't come to fruition till later. Actually, the tattoo pen started out as an electric pen that was a complete failure. Yeah. There's just things like that that are repurposed later in life that's amazing. It was their time and purpose was just in the wrong time. So I think that's like everything I've done, and don't be afraid to learn a new skill or jump into something you may not know 100%, because you can totally learn it. Again, there's no fear. So, and you will fail. Don't be afraid of failure, and don't walk away too soon either. There's a fine line between the time that you need to just cut the cord sometimes, and then other things where you just need to be tenacious and it will come. You can feel it. You feel it in your bones if that's what you're going to do.
No fear. Know that you will fail. Be tenacious. Don't stop too soon.
Nope. And don't take no. And there will be everyone, they'll say, oh, and you're like, that's not for you, but it's totally for me. I have that all the time. Aren't you tired? Basically, what I'm doing now is my retirement. I love it. I absolutely love it. I love to work, which is a strange thing to say. So, but I like it. I have passion for what I do. So, but it's not for everybody. Some people like an 8 to 5 and they like to go home, and that's all awesome. That's not my thing.
You don't punch out.
No. I don't shut down. I don't stop. Yeah.
Okay, so how about an epic failure? Have you got an epic failure you can share with us?
I don't really. Do I have an epic failure? Looking at my love. There you go, thank you. Now, I'm trying to think. I will stay too long doing something. If someone needs help or something like that, I will tend to stay too long and help. But that is, I don't know that I would change that, and I don't regret any of it. Probably should have been working on something else, but it's just me for me, so I can figure I can make the time to get that up later. So, but I've never really failed anything, because I look at it this way, if it didn't go as you want, that doesn't mean it isn't where it's supposed to be. Does that make sense? It may not be with the way you started out, because I morph every day. My store isn't what I intended it to be at all. It looks completely different. I didn't have any of these ideas until somebody said that. My jewelry is the same way. I have a couple of lines I never would have thought of until somebody said, make it happen. I have a couple of interchangeable jewelries that do amazing because somebody said, I wish I had something like this. I'm like, okay, let's go figure it out. that's how everything I do goes. It's all a wonderful accident. Absolutely. Or somebody give me, yeah.
What's Andy Stoll say? Serendipitous collisions?
Yes,
Is that the
absolutely.
thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is a wonderful accident.
Yes. You cannot be afraid of change or chaos. And I thrive off both.
Yeah.
I do. And information, I absolutely love it. Yep.
Entrepreneurs are crazy.
We're not well.
Those that aren't entrepreneurs don't get us.
No, they
don't
don't.
get the crazy. So.
And it makes us happy, and that's really probably wrong for the rest of the world. Yeah, we like it. Yeah. We don't get nervous over things like other folks do, because it's okay. Nobody died. It's all good.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Okay. So before I let these folks ask you some questions, I always end up with a simple two-parter. What's the worst part about being an entrepreneur, and what's the best part?
Best part, I own it. Good or bad or otherwise, I own it. I own my actions, I own my business, I own it all. Bad part is I have to be careful, because I would be all-consuming. I would stay there all the time doing it. So it's not bad. I just have to set really good boundaries, and I tend to run amok with that.
Boundaries. Yeah. I don't know. Entrepreneurs don't do well with boundaries.
No, I do not.
Okay. All right. Let's open it up. Who's got questions for?
Uh-oh.
Go ahead.
I'd love to have you as a mentor, number one. Number two, who would be your most, as far as an artist goes, who do you look up to the most? Who influenced you the most, as far as an artist goes? Whether it be music, whether you're a painter?
You know what? You're going to laugh at me, but it's a gentleman that I worked with in banking, in an economic side. The man can run numbers like a dream. And that sounds really silly, but no. When you do things, you have to cost them, you have to look at things, and he was the best mentor I ever had. And outside of that, he was an artist, which I had no idea, but he was calm, and he was helpful, and sometimes there's $1 million that just in one number can change your life, and the guy it all flowed. And then outside of that, I asked him what he did, and he said he's an artist, and he brought some of his things that sell for a couple $1,000s a piece. And it's amazing, the same flow went into that did the numbers. So that tends to be, that's the only person I connected with truly, because my background is numbers, and then I took my numbers, and that's the only person I've transferred it into art. That sounds silly, but he had a huge influence on me. And he was better at boundaries and things. You don't just stay here all night. I'm like, sure I do. It's not quite done yet. So, yeah.
Who else? Yeah. You have a question?
I did. I spent some time with you the other day just to kind of watch how things flowed, and I noticed that you also give back. I noticed when people came in, they wanted a donation for this, or they wanted help with that. That I also see that you would drop everything to make sure that you're also participating in the community around you. That 10% goes back right into the community.
It does.
And I wanted to hear you talk about that.
I usually don't.
I know that you
is my faith. I give all the glory to God. So 10% of everything I square up with the Lord on Saturday or on Sunday, based on the end of my sales on Saturday, and on top of that, I give back to almost everybody that asks me in the store. There's a lot of things that go on in people's lives for whatever happened. I'm happy to donate to the soccer, to anything else that needs those things, and I do custom pieces for those things. So I do. That's just a personal philosophy that I live by. My family does as well.
Who else?
Could you explain one more time, or in a little bit more detail, how you transitioned from working for others to working for yourself?
like I did everything else. You end one thing on a really high note and you start something else. Honestly, it was a move we made. I actually had our daughter when I was in my 40s, and so I decided, and one of my jobs came with a lot of death threats, to be honest with you. So I decided, yes, I've had an exciting life, a little more exciting than a lot. Yeah, and so I decided that I would have a change, and so I started learning a different skill set that pleased me, to be honest with you. And like the gentleman that I had done the financier stuff with, and so I just started transitioning. And another thing that I did was once we transitioned with that, with the profits that I make with just a studio, I actually purchased at auction some rental properties, and then I learned to do flooring and drywall, everything, a different kind of art. My love is an engineer, so he did the hard stuff and we finished refloors, flipped some of that stuff. So one thing, I'm never doing just one thing. One thing is always transition, and it's a natural flow, to be all honesty with it. So we have some of those properties. So it's just one thing will always open up another opportunity. So I've never, like I said, I didn't make a hard transition into just one thing. Uh-oh. Should we call on him or not?
Sure. The guy, he's been drinking margaritas.
The ne'er-do-well in front, yes, sir.
So speaking of opportunity, what's your latest opportunity you've been working on at home?
At home, right?
Oh, your bread and breakfast.
Oh, the bed and breakfast, yes. We have the bed and breakfast, again, people were just asking about to have it, so we decided to make it. And so we started working on a laundry room that turned into an extravagant bathroom, and then a hole that went into another room. I was like, booyah, done, we got some room. I'm telling you, you start tearing up subflooring and exciting things happen.
That's right.
Another opportunity right there. So, and then a cool thing was when for RAGBRAI, we have a huge parking lot that was left over from the church. We were going to tear it up. But prior to that, somebody found us and said, we are coming on RAGBRAI with hundreds of people. We need a place for them to park, but we don't do the regular routes. What we want to do is be set apart. They call them, it's like an older riders, they're probably 50 to 70-ish plus older. So what they wanted to do was just somewhere quiet. So we're up on a hill so that we have a parking lot, and they can camp on the grounds because we got a large ground. So and then as soon as they're done, then that parking lot will become grass, closer to the bed and breakfast thing. So I'm telling you, it's a blessing. One thing just kind of led it to another. It's taking care of itself. When you're doing the right things, the right things happen. You'll have hiccups, but ultimately you can see the end game. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, you make your own luck.
Totally do. You know what? That's funny. When I graduated, the Rotary Club had us when I graduated with honors in high schools, which is here and there, but they have you come speak. And everybody else is like, I hope I get this. I'm like, I'm gonna take it. This guy, I had a job offer. I was like, I'm gonna take it. I make my own luck. There's no such thing. If I work hard on the right things, I put my hands to the right things happen. And so afterwards, this guy's like, I got a job for you. I'm like, let's just talk about this then. Yeah.
Cool.
So.
Melissa, it sounds like you spent quite a bit of time in maybe kind of a corporate environment before. When you were thinking of doing something differently, was that one of your thoughts, like consciously designing, would it be corporate or not corporate, or how did that thinking go?
No. It flows how it's supposed to. The opportunities offer them and I take them. And it really wasn't, it doesn't matter. I do corporate. I stand up in my suit on Mondays, I'm not there, and I've got this on the rest of the week, some hauling in the art that I got from some other people. You know, it depends on what environment I'm in that day, appropriate. I'm comfortable in either one, honestly. Yeah. Problem solving is problem solving, just whether you wear it in a suit or not.
Do you think if the right opportunity would have been there, you still could have worked in the corporate world as like an entrepreneur or something and climbed the ladder that way, or would have been too boring for you?
I'm never bored.
Well, I mean, what did that make you bored? You know what I'm getting at?
I don't know. You know what? It probably, and I could have stayed where I was doing better and changing. Yeah. And when you do well, other people just kind of want that skill set, to be honest with you. And because once you get to a certain point, you kind of just move over, though. I don't know if you guys find that. you kind of are where you are, and then you get asked to do things from a different company, and it might be a different setting, but then all of a sudden you're doing the same thing, different
Yeah.
place, not my gig.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just something completely different.
What do you do if you're faced with negativity or something that makes you feel uncomfortable?
I'm not usually uncomfortable.
She's an optimist.
But now, and you know what though, the whole thing is that even if someone says something nasty to me, and I try to get by the tone of voice, because in it, there's probably something I need to learn from that. I really try to listen, because if somebody's mad or they have a complaint, right or wrong, whatever, you got to be careful when you sit at a table. That's probably the only thing corporate's really taught me, is that doesn't mean you're wrong, that just means you're angry with me. So I need to listen. Instead of listening to that tone of voice, I need to listen what you're telling me. You're probably telling me something really good in there, but if I don't hear it and I get defensive, so I try, you really can't hurt my feelings. I hate to say that. It just, unless you're super, super close to me and I get, otherwise, like as a customer, there's probably nothing I haven't heard. But I really should be listening. So that's probably another takeaway is you gotta be thick-skinned and don't kill the messenger, listen, because there is something you need to learn from that, no matter how it's stated or the tone it's set in. Doesn't make it wrong.
What else? Hannah, do you have a question? I saw there's her hand go up. Hannah, do you have a question?
Why did you make your start your family business?
Why? Because I love my family.
There you go.
My business is a family business because my daughter is an entrepreneur and she's my daughter. At 9, she was already Googling recipes, cooking them, and my husband was taking her to markets. And when she wanted to start her own business, we wrote up a contract. And she's got her own pots, her own pans, her own everything. She's got her own money saved. She bought her own iPad. She has friends that electronics drop from the heavens. She said, "You need to get me an iPad." I said, "No, I don't. You need to start a business, earn your own money." She's like, "I'm 9. I said, "Let me show you how." Wealthiest 9-year-old I ever knew, and she's doing great.
What was the one name you told me that one time that when you were in the M&A banking business, some people used to call you?
Oh, the ice queen.
The ice queen. Even to your 9
Wow, no wonder you get death threats, huh?
Absolutely. And I still have no problem, like maybe I should be nice. But you know what? Don't shoot me, because a lot of times the message is, suck it out, buttercup. That's our motto at our store. There's no whining. Don't whine, you're not the victim of anything. You need to suck it up, buttercup. And that means step it up, take care of it, shake it off, work it out. Because ultimately it's on you to take care of it. And again, epic failure, shake it up, suck it up, buttercup. It's good, it's bad, doesn't matter. You just gotta keep moving on, so.
Turn your phones off.
A little late for that now, right?
Any other questions, anybody, for Melissa?
I got here a little late because I couldn't hear back there because you were talking so softly. But,
That's me.
okay. I mean, that's probably not you in any other environment.
Not
Okay, but have you always been an artist, or did that happen like after you got out of the corporate world too? Or
I've always wanted to do it and mess with my own stuff, but when you're working 70 hours a week, a lot of that stuff it just goes to the wayside.
So you got 30 hours?
Yeah. So.
That's right, you still have 30 hours, he said.
That's
Exactly.
168 hours
I know.
a week.
Suck it up, buttercup.
That's right.
But the cool thing is you get to pick which 100 hours.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's right.
It is, and my family comes first. So
course.
you can get up early. I can take my daughter to school. I do what needs to be done. She needs to go. I go. Period. End.
Yeah.
A family member or somebody needs something. We go. That is the deal. So.
That's what I see a lot with entrepreneurs and stuff. They're so driven and so into their business that they lose the aspect of family and stuff too.
Exactly.
They lose focus on what's more important. Your kids are only young once and all that
Yes.
kind of stuff, you know? And there'll always be another day to make money, but your kids are only young once.
You're exactly
Yeah.
right. And I want her to understand that balance too. There's a huge balance. When I put boundaries on stuff, like it's after we've spent time together. We always eat dinner together. It could be in the back of the store while we're doing something else. It can be whatever it is, but we are together, we have dinner and we talk. That's our deal. And as much as we can, we eat right at the table, we cook it, we spend time together. So that is huge to us, huge. And we're a family, we will stay a family. Can't be driven by the almighty dollar either. There'll always be enough. There'll always be enough.
Anybody else? Anything else?
Very good talk.
I have something for you, Melissa, like always, right? So, as you know, Steve Jobs said he wanted to put a ding in the universe. So this is to say thank you for sharing your ding.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're so cute.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.